Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. I have already started my Inktober sketch for today. The theme is roasted, and since I saw the My Hero Academia movie again last night in the theater, what I thought of first was Todoroki-kun from My Hero Academia. So I am in the middle of doing my pencil sketch because I had so much trouble yesterday and the day before with this sketchbook, which actually came with the 2018 ArtSnacks Inktober collection. I decided to go back to the sketchbook that came with the 2016 collection. I just want to show you guys the difference. So that's the cover of the one I got this year, and this is the cover of the one I got 2 years ago. This one has a little Inktober thing in the corner, and then this one has an illustration on it. But oddly enough, even though this paper was touted as being, bright white in color, now that I have the two together, I don't think you can tell the difference on the camera just because the way my lights are, and it makes the whole all whites look different, but this one is way whiter. And I think you can tell. This one looks yellow in comparison to this one. So it's super weird. It actually made me think maybe they got the wrong paper in this sketchbook, because this one is pretty smooth too. It's not as incredibly unbelievably smooth as this paper, but it's really smooth. I would not call this textured at all, but you can still feel, and there's just no way for me to show you this, but you can feel that the ink will absorb into this. And I've used this one for 2 Inktober's. So the only problem with it is, so like I did this one where I did a wash with ink, it bleeds through if you do that. So I had to make this one fit around the bleed through, and then it even bled through all the way over there. So that's the problem with this one. Admittedly, I didn't try a wash on this paper, but it's so frustrating to use because the ink takes so long to dry that I don't have all day to wait for it to dry. So I'm not going to use this one anymore. Unfortunately, it would have worked out if the only ink they had provided was this kind of ink. These inks that come in jars like this usually sit on top of paper, so it actually dries pretty fast on that sketchbook, and it doesn't erase away if you try to erase. But this isn't the only tool they provided, and a big selling point or activity that's encouraged with the ArtSnacks collection is to use all of the materials, and only those materials, for the Inktober challenge. So it's silly to include a bunch of stuff that doesn't work with a sketchbook and then encourage people to use all that stuff. So like this smears very badly and takes a lot of time to dry on that other sketchbook, and this is half of the inking supplies. So I'm going back to this one. I've used it for 2 years and there's still plenty of paper. So it's still an Inktober sketchbook, and it's still an ArtSnacks Inktober sketchbook, and it's just much better for inking on because I've used it for so many drawings. I didn't complete ArtSnacks last year or the year before, but I did, I'd say, at least a dozen drawings in this sketchbook so far. Now I'm working on Todoroki-kun. If you don't know My Hero Academia, Todoroki has the power of flames. He can produce flames out of his left arm. So that's why he matches the roasted prompt for today, because if you get attacked by him, you'll get roasted. He only attacks bad guys though. So I made my pose reference in Dad's studio again. I really love that program now that I'm getting better and better at using it. There's still some things that I don't quite get and it's frustrating to use, but it's still better than trying really hard and searching online for the perfect reference photo, hoping that someone else has taken it, or trying to get someone to pose for you all of a sudden. So I'm using my own hand to try and see how stuff. The thing with the Daz Studio is that I don't know enough about it to get really realistic, like musculature and stuff to show up. So I'm just, it's a fairly basic body, so for how close this hand is, I think I need a little more detail. It's like the fingers curve where they meet, where the skin is pulled apart because the hand is doing this. Had to bust out another eraser. That's another thing that's better about this sketchbook. It makes me wonder if ArtSnacks just accidentally got the wrong paper in it, because this paper is so good. It erases really well, so you can do your pencil sketch. Like, did they just get the wrong paper in the sketchbooks and not realize it and sent them out? Nothing to be done about it now, but hopefully that won't happen again in future years, because as long as they keep putting new supplies in the Inktober box every year, I'll want to buy it, because I love getting new art supplies. It's refreshing. It's like invigorating. It makes you want to work harder and try new stuff. Yeah, this just erases so much better than that other paper too. That other paper is just so awful. I really feel now like it has to have been some sort of mistake that it got put in that sketchbook. Okay, so the sun comes down here. It's already so much nicer to work on this paper. Let's see, thumb stretches up towards the index finger. Well, actually it stretches up towards the middle finger on my hand, and then this just kind of comes straight down like this. Again on my hand, but it's the best reference I've got. So let's see. There's like a. It's kind of hard because I'm using my opposite hand. Hopefully my stream doesn't have any trouble today. My reference image is up, so it's kind of blocking. trying to get my reference images up in a way that I can still see whether my stream gets paused, whether the video gets stuck like yesterday. So far so good though. I really hope that my fix yesterday, which was changing the USB port, I hope that solves the problem. I don't want to take too long on this pencil sketch. So let's see. Man, I'm really happy with how my anime style skills have been coming along this year. I'm trying to improve them. I've been drawing so many other style stuff for the past few years. They started to get stagnant, and I wasn't happy with them. Okay, so let's see, their arm just kind of comes down like this. Okay, I see. This makes it look like he's shrugging. He's not supposed to be shrugging. He's supposed to just be... His other arm is back because his one arm is forward. His other arm is back. Yikes. My stream looks really jumpy. Let me fix my settings. Gosh, I wish it was less finicky. Let's turn down the bit rate. I turned it back up since that didn't solve the problem last time. Maybe it has to go down also. That's a totally separate problem. Okay, so their shoulder is coming through here, but it comes down instead of up. That one's actually more straight across. Of course, I'm gonna put his hero outfit on him. So where his neck is, this is his collarbone. And his other collarbone goes way up because his arm's raised. And this is where his chest starts. Let's see, and his other side of his body comes out at about here. Dang, my stream still looks super jumpy. What the heck is up with it? What in the heck? It's not one thing, it's another. Whew. Wonder if my sound is even coming through. Well, at least I've got the recording going, and that's not recording the stream. It's recording the same stuff my camera gets before it goes to stream. Okay, now I think I can go back to adding more Todoroki character design stuff. add in his hair. I've liked Todoroki from the beginning, but his recent character designs have just been so handsome. Like, I love this outfit that I'm doing here. His third hero uniform costume. And in the movie, I think he is the best dressed one. He just looks so good. So good in that white tuxedo. Okay, so his hair's pretty much the same on both sides. It's just that one is red and one is white. And I looked at some of the manga drawings of him too, so I'm going to make the red side of his hair like really dark and use a lot of ink there. That's a good opportunity to use ink, since this is Inktober, and that will really help show the difference between the two sides of his hair. I'm going to do some like flyaways because he's going to be using his powers. Oh, Todoroki-kun, you're looking so good. So good. Let's see. It's got a middle part, I believe. Well, let's see. Need to go higher. Let's see, a circle right here. So his hair sits on top of the circle. We'll have some of his red hair coming over, being blown over onto the other side. This should be a little flatter because it's being blown down by his own flames. Maybe blown back. Yeah, just do a few kind of being blown back instead of to the side. A little smoother than that. I don't want to spend too much time on the pencil sketch, but I can't stop myself. That's pretty good. That should be one more. Okay. Now his actual outfit. So he's got these like short sleeves. So this should all be material. And he's got these like shoulder protector things or something. Let's see. Go around under. Since he's creating these flames, I want to do some really heavy dark shading on this side of him to show that this is creating a lot of light. Oh, my eraser broke. How sad is that? just kind of plopped off. It just looks like they kind of go around here. I gotta erase this so it gets flat. There's like this extra bit sticking up from where it broke off. It's making it hard to erase where I want. Okay, I think that's better. This doesn't seem to get any bigger, so I'm going to make this smaller. And then, just got this really big collar. Covers pretty much his whole neck. So the angle he's at, come down like this, I think. And it's zipped right up to his neck. So check out that. Curve around. And it has these three little lines on it. It's at such an angle, might not be able to see them all, but should at least draw a couple of them. Dang it, my pencil's already not sharp enough. I need a super fine tip. This 2-part sharpener is really good at that. Getting like deadly sharp. to keep erasing as I go so I don't forget what line is supposed to be what. Lines show that this is a thick collar with dimension. Let's see where it connects here. It has like a zipper or a line down the front, so it needs to follow the way his chest is turned a bit. Because when your arm shoots out like this, your chest turns to the side. And then we would have some wrinkles here from cloth turning. Maybe not this one. I'm going to get this done faster, sooner, but got distracted. I wanted to find a tool for Dad's Studio where you can put the rule of thirds on your screen before you render. And I found one, but I could not figure it out. I just could not figure it out, so I wasted a bunch of time on that. Wasted a bunch of time doing that instead of working on this sketch. But I'm sure by the end of the month I'll have my workflow figured out so well I'll just be able to only stream inking, which is what I want to do. I just want to focus on streaming the inking part. Actually, I might have this up a little higher. And then he's got this uniform sleeve coming out. I'm just going to leave it out like that. These wrinkles don't look quite right, but I really don't have time to perfect them. I already spent half an hour on this that I want to be spending on inking. Okay, I think my rule is, if it doesn't look right, just reduce it. Because often I'll just keep adding too much and then it looked better before I added too much. This one. So I still need to draw the flames too. So I'm reminded of how last night at the movie there were a couple of fans in the audience who, well, there was one like really big Bakugo fan, because when Bakugo showed up she just squealed. And someone else let out a big yelp when Todoroki showed up as well. It was so amusing. I really love that energy. It's so nice, because it's just nice when I see other people are just as passionate about the show as I am. I don't like that. Of course, the character that I exclaim over is All Might. He's the one who made me want to watch the show in the first place. When I saw him, and so I started watching this show midway through the second season, because I started attending an anime club around this time last year, local anime club, and that's what they were watching. And at first, I was like, starting in the middle, it's hard to get super interested in it. You don't know who anybody is, etc. But I kept seeing this character, and it was All Might, and the more I saw him, it just got to the point where I had to take the time, my own time, not club time, to watch the series and see who the heck he was and learn more about him. I already liked him so much then, and it's just gotten, my like has gotten more and more powerful since then. The movie was super great for an All Might fan like me. I'm removing lines where there's the flames. Oops, his hair. And to be like, maybe you can see through a little bit, but the flames are still mostly. And I think I'll remove lines next to the flames on the outside too, as if they're shining so brightly that you can't, that they're sort of glowing. This is the kind of thing it would be helpful to look up manga drawing techniques to see how flames are often depicted in manga. But for now, I'm just doing it on the fly. So I don't have time. I don't have time for that. I spent so long yesterday with all the troubles I was having with the sketchbook and with my computer. Okay. I kind of want to put some flames but I don't really like it. Huh. Maybe I'll just have flames coming up like this. If it matched with this line. Yeah, maybe this flame comes in over his thumb like that. This paper still isn't the most clean erasing paper I've ever used, but it's much better than that other one that officially came with this ArtSnacks box. Like this, like flames wrapping around his hand. And they just come out of his hand, so, but I haven't looked up how that's usually depicted, so I'm making it up as I go. Making up my own version. And needs to be finished, not perfect. That's the motto or mantra. Oh, I am missing something. He's got like a connector right here. It's got a few lines on it. There. Finished, not perfect. So let's go. I think that this is good enough now to start inking. I have to get all these eraser shavings away though. And again, I didn't take the time, I forgot, to create a light source for my dad's studio thing. I should definitely start inking on this side over to this side because I'm left-handed, but I wonder if I should use the brush to ink this whole area, because stuff that's closer to the viewer ought to be inked with heavier lines. And this is super close. So the biggest lines I can get are with this brush, and the brush would be good for making super expressive lines for these flames. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. remember one of my high school art teachers, who I'm still in contact with today, once recommended, because he's an amazing American comic book style artist. I mean, he's an artist he can do all kinds of stuff, but he just does the most amazing ink work. And one time he recommended that I try inking with a brush, which I'd never done before. And that was so many years ago, and I think this might be the first time I've inked so much with a brush. Like kind of how you would be inking if you were creating a comic book. He's doing Inktober this year too. Or at least he did one so far. I've been really happy because so many people are doing Inktober. So many people that I know. So it's just always more fun when you can share an event like this with people you actually know. I don't know how flamey it's looking, but I'm having fun. I love doing lines like this where it feels big and small, big and small. People use the term expressive for this kind of line work. But I think that what's meant by expressive is more like interesting. It's more interesting to look at than simple, all the same size lines. This is turning out good, if I do say so myself. The ink dries much faster on this paper too. Just so many reasons why this paper is better than the paper that came with this year's box. Ooh, I think there's a little something on my glasses. Hold on a second. Got it. It was right in my field of vision. This is a little blurry speck. I also like the dry brush look I'm getting sometimes, randomly, unpredictably, maybe not randomly. That's why I love working with traditional physical media more than digital media. Huh. I just got a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System on my phone. No action is needed. Okay. Well, thanks. That's why I always actually turn my phone off during movies, not just silence, because then if I get an Amber Alert or something during the movie, it won't do anything. It won't interrupt the movie. Like, Amber Alerts and stuff are important, of course, but during a movie, you're not gonna recognize the missing kid in the theater in the dark. Or at least I won't. So I don't need those alerts happening during the movie. Oh man, it was hilarious. During the My Hero Academia movie last night, someone didn't silence their cell phone, but their ringtone was Yuri on Ice, so I was like, at first I was annoyed, and then I was like, no, okay, I'll let you have it. It was Yuri on Ice, okay. I'll let you interrupt the movie with your ringtone this one time. Well, I don't know how flamey that looks, but I really like how the lines are. Just the ink alone, I think, looks pretty cool. That's good for the brush ink for now. I'll probably use it again. This brush, cleaning this in my water bowl over here. I need to empty this. I've had the same water for 3 days. It's getting kind of murky. And by kind of murky, I mean really murky. I don't remember what I was just talking about. Oh yeah. I'll probably use this again later to do the really heavy, dark, shadowy ink that I want to do. So what should I move on to now? Should I use this brush pen? Should I just use these fine liners? I guess I'll use the brush pen for his hair. Again with the expressive lines. Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna go to, probably go to the smallest. Start with the smallest and go bigger if I need to. I'm gonna try to hurry a bit. I wanted it to only be an hour. I have other projects to do. It's like this pen is already dying. It doesn't want to draw. If this pen dies, I'm gonna get another 1mm pen because that's just ridiculous. Shouldn't be almost dead after only 3 drawings. Like, I definitely wouldn't buy such a pen. That's not nearly long enough of a shelf life. And what the heck? This pen is already... Is something wrong with the nib, or is it just really almost out of ink? Man, this is ridiculous. I'll just have to do a different style of inking than usual because this pen is not behaving. Instead of doing straight lines, I'll do a lot of little lines because it's the only way I'm getting enough ink out of this. I need the thin lines. Every day, there's a new trial for me to face. First it was the paper, now it's the actual pens. I will prevail. Oh my gosh, it's just not working. Okay, I need to dig out a size 1mm pen real quick. Okay, I think this one will work. It's still an ArtSnacks item. I got this from an old ArtSnacks box. Sure. Yeah, they're both 1mm. I don't know if there's maybe something I can do to help get this going again. Maybe I will store it standing on its head, and maybe the ink will flow down. Oh yeah, this is how it should be. Still gonna have to continue a little bit with this choppy style of inking though. Just to keep the style the same. Okay, rough style inking complete, I think. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. It's so nice to be able to ink like normal and not worry about every little movement I make potentially smearing the ink. Such a relief. Yesterday I was on tenterhooks the whole time and I still ended up smudging it. And I obviously didn't smudge it just because I was on edge, because I smudged it when I was feeling calmer the day before. It's like nothing I did stopped it from happening. And this ink is really good. This official Inktober ink. I think it might be my new favorite, point blank, because I believe it's also waterproof. Yeah, waterproof, so I can use it with watercolor too. And as I'm erasing it, the ink itself isn't erasing away. And it dries pretty quick. It's just really good. It's really good ink. This paper is so much better. So much better than last year. This year. This paper from 2 years ago. Can't help thinking it was just a mistake on ArtSnacks' part, or on the sketchbook company's part. Denick, who actually made the sketchbooks, because they make custom sketchbooks. That other paper is just the worst. Get all those eraser sheet out of the way. Still not done, but there were just too many. Couldn't handle them. Oops. Erased too hard. My pen fell down. Stand up, pen. Stand up tall and proud. Nope, doesn't want to. I'll put it up when I'm not drawing on here. Paper didn't erase perfectly, but it's a better problem than the other sketchbook. Now, oh, I still miss a spot. It looked good, but I guess I didn't get the inside of his hand very well. Okay. Should I use my pencil, or should I just go ahead and use a pen? Maybe pencil will be best. I want to mark what I think should be super dark areas. use a pencil, then I can erase it if I don't think it looks right. Yep, I'm glad I did this with pencil. Okay, I think that's good to start. Going back to the big brush. Oh, the only brush, but it's bigger than this brush pen. Keep putting this so far away, it's hard for me to see if I've even dipped it in there far enough. seeing this ink on this paper compared to the sketchbook I was using yesterday. That other sketchbook, I think, is really, really meant for this kind of ink and not any other kind. Because actually, now that I've used this on a lot of areas, I prefer this ink on the other sketchbook. Because this ink absorbs into this paper more, while it sits perfectly on top of the other paper. But again, it's not worth it with all the problems with all the other materials. From this ArtSnacks Inktober box. Looks like my stream is still a little choppy. It's doing something weird though. It's like it's fast forwarding or something. I don't know what else to do for it. For a while it was going so well, and now I just keep having problem after problem with it. This whole arm I was going to make black. It's like angled away, so it should really be in shadow. His own body should be casting some pretty good shadow on him. I was set poorly over here. I need a better footrest to help encourage my proper posture. I bought one good footrest. I have it under my PC because I'm there more often than over here. But it wasn't that cheap, so I can't afford another one. And I do not want to deal with moving it back and forth. Okay. Clean the ink out of my brush again. Okay, I think this needs to be black too. Right here. Fine-tuning his hair now. I'm using my pencil again. So even though I wanted to make this hair pretty dark, I think I shouldn't make it completely black, or else it's just going to get totally lost in these shadows here. And it should be a pretty big highlight, actually. This is so bright. It should be like a completely white highlight right there. Actually, I'm going to use next size up. 5mm pen. This side of his hair is just a darker color. I don't want to fill it all the way in, but I want to show that. I want to show that it's darker. So, using a larger pen will help do that. I'm using the even larger pen to show shadows on the dark hair. Use a small pen again, super smallest one. So this side of his hair is actually white, so it really needs to not get too dark through the shading process. I'll use the next size up, 5. Get some darker areas in here. Oh, my stream is so jumpy, and sometimes it's fine, and sometimes it's just crazy. I don't know what it's doing that for. If I spend a bunch of time trying to figure that out, I'm not going to finish this, and it's already been half an hour longer than I wanted to spend today. That's a bit better. I wanted his hand to stand out a little more. Getting a little experimental right here. Oh, I do remember one last thing I wanted to do, because I feel like I'm done. I feel like I'm done with this, but since I have this blue ink and Todoroki-kun has one blue eye, I thought I would use it, since it's a good place for something that stands out like blue ink. Yesterday I didn't use the blue ink even though there was a place where there was blue in the character design, but it didn't make sense to put blue ink there just for the sake of putting blue ink, because it would bring attention to like this little detail, and that's not the main focus. Let's see. Let me double check. Which one of his eyes is blue? Okay, as I thought. This is flame eye. Oh, and he's got this scar on his face. I've gotta do that too. But I'll start with the blue. Looks pretty cool. I think for his other eye, since it's brown, I'll just do some hatching. Some hatching with this little pen. This pen is starting to misbehave as well. I wonder if it's the paper doing this. Let's see. Scar comes down. Oh, that really looks like him now. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Wasn't looking like him. He needs this scar. Really makes him look like himself. paper's starting to get wavy from all the ink I've been using. It's making it kind of hard to do straight lines. Adding a little detail to the flame now. It's looking a little bit boring. I should do that technique where you go whoosh, 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 to show that the... I think I will. This isn't an Inktober item, but I'm going to use it. My ruler. I'll use this 5. Should start at the top and come down. Oops, that didn't look very good. decided that I need to complete this arm. Doesn't look right. Having the body this far down, but not the arm. This is 8. Haha, I knew it was wrong. Just eyeball these last few. Be okay. That's good, that's good. Whew. Ruler stuck to my hand. Now let's see. Look at my camera and see what I think. I think these papers are killing my pens. This one was fine when I started. It's already acting like the other one that I used this to replace. Oh, that's much better, making that top look darker. I think I just need to make this whole thing darker over on this side. Stop rolling away. I'm not liking his jacket for some reason. think that's better. This brush is getting really dirty. I gotta clean it properly instead of just rinsing it for tomorrow. Clean it today for tomorrow. What else? I need to remember my mantra. Finished, not perfect. So I'm starting to get obsessed with it. And I think I need to just leave it alone now. Okay. Just add something there, because it was looking weird. Only white right there. Okay, I'm really done. And it's been about 2 hours, so I think I spent a fair amount of time on it. I'm going to use a different pen to sign and title it. Let's see, how was I titling these other ones? I like to keep it the same since it's sort of like a series. So, right up in the corner down here. Guess I'll write it up here. Just like the others. Inktober 2018, day 3. Roasted. Boom. I'm done. I'm done for today. Yay! So I'll be back tomorrow to do my next Inktober drawing. I'll be using this sketchbook again. Not sure what I'll draw, but I'll be here at the same time. So I hope you'll join me. Thank you for watching.